family, let's get right into it. So we open up with Colty and Larissa. Colt is like trying to get back into Larissa's good graces because he pissed her off with trying to lock her up and deport her from the country. So he's trying his best to get back into her good graces. He's trying to talk to her. It's not really working, but it's so robotic. He's like, hi, honey, how are you doing? How was your day? How you doing, honey? Want to get something to eat? And I'm just like, why is it so hard for him to just like communicate properly? Maybe he's the type of guy who a lot of his interactions with women have been like, you know, through, I don't want to say video games, but video games, you know, like The Sims, or just like not really genuine relationships with women. I don't think Colt has ever really had that outside of maybe porn. Can we be real? And did y'all catch that part where he was talking about her butt? It just caught me off guard and I almost vomited. I was like, no, Colt, that's okay. We don't need to know how you sexy talk to Larissa because it made me uncomfortable. Okay, so now let's talk about Larissa and her kids. So Colt is just like trying to talk to her about her children. And he's just like, you know, maybe we can go out there and visit them. And Larissa has like no intentions of like going back to see her kids. And I don't think it's because she doesn't want to have a relationship with them. I think, gotta be honest here, I think that Colt is a trick. You know what I mean? And she doesn't want to get that involved with him or let him know, or not let him know, but let him be a part of like her real life. It's just like, you a trick. I'm just here to get my citizenship and get some money. And then I'm bringing my babies over here where I feel comfortable with them, because any woman who is missing her children, who want her children to be with her, and the man that you came to America to be with, leaving your family, if he says, let's go back home and visit your family, wouldn't you be excited about it? Wouldn't you be excited about seeing your kids? Larissa was like, no, that's okay. She was like, I don't want you that much in my business. You are a trick and an investment, and that is all. So you guys know that I always talk about how emotional Miss Debbie is, but I can feel for her in this moment. Her son has married a woman and brought her into her home. They've been living in this situation for a good year or so. And then to find out that not only does she have children, then to find out that not only does she has a child, she has another. So she got 2 kids that she's been hiding from you for a full year. She feels betrayed. She feels like, you know, they both misled her with this situation, because I think if she would have known, she probably would have had a bit more resistance with Larissa. And she just feels blindsided. And I get it. I get all of her emotions. I felt like everything that she did emotionally was justified because it wasn't fair. She's living with this person and you're giving her partial information. She already don't feel safe because her and the girl is always going back and forth. But then it's just like, oh, guess what? Let me tell you something about basically a roommate that you've been living with for a year, who's also your daughter-in-law. She got kids. So now Miss Debbie is thinking, wait, if Larissa has children, her allegiance is to Brazil. She might move to Brazil, and I know good and well that they ain't taking me. So I'm losing my son to Brazil. So she's having a wave of emotions, rightfully so. And also, can we talk about how Colt is talking about Larissa's kids like it was like a drug addiction back in the day, like in her past? He was just like, well, you know, she did that. She had them. She's taking care of them. She's doing the right thing. And I'm like, what? It just didn't seem like he was talking about her children. It seemed like he was talking about her criminal past. And I was like, Colt, you're actually talking about kids. It wasn't a mistake. It's not a bad thing. She has children. It's okay. My only issue with Miss Debbie is that she's putting the onus on the revelation of Larissa's children on Larissa. Like, she's directing all of her anger towards her. And I was just like, you know what? You need to be mad at your son as well. He lied to you too, mother. Can I just say that Nicole's grandfather, I think he needs to do like commercials. You know what I mean? I could see him killing a car insurance commercial, or a life insurance commercial, or a life alert commercial, or a furniture commercial, even doing voiceovers. He was so enjoyable to watch. Like, he's just sitting there in the chair. How's the store going, Nicole? Knowing good and well that his granddaughter is getting scammed, but he can't say anything about it. And I just feel so bad for Nicole's whole family, because they all know that this is a bad idea. They all know that what Nicole is doing is wrong. They all know that she is getting scammed by Azan. But they all know that she's going to do what she wants to do anyway, no matter what they say. And I feel like they've been here with her before with her baby father. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they're always getting in these situations with Nicole, and maybe because her mental capacity is not the same as someone of her age, that they're very protective of her, but they're too protective to the point where they allow her to make really serious mistakes to the point where they could lose her. And I feel like they're doing all this stuff so that they don't lose her. And I'm just like, at some point, somebody really has to put their foot down and intervene with Nicole, because not only is she making these decisions for herself, she's making them for her daughter. And I just don't see her making the best decision. Like, throughout this show, she has made some of the poorest decisions, and her family just supports her. I get support and love, but also be real and honest with your family and just say you are going down a really bad path. And if you're going to do it by your damn self. Give me the baby. That's what I would do. You know what I mean? If I know that my sister is making some crazy decisions and she's just going to do what she's going to do and she's not going to listen to me, give me my niece. You know, go ahead on and scrape your knees and do what you want to do. But why does she have to be privy to your foolishness? You know what? Well, another thing that gets under my skin about Nicole is that she is clearly on public assistance. Like, let's be real, okay? Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. We are supporting her, right? Her family is supporting her. TLC, what is these checks like? Because why is she living in a trailer? She's on a TV show. And not only is she living in a trailer, her and her daughter are living in one room. And she on public assistance. Wait a minute, where's the FBI? Who investigates? The IRS. I said the FBI. The IRS, because something ain't up here. Something is not up. And she's just like, I don't really have a lot of money, but you know what? The money that I do have, I scraped it together, and now I'm going to Grenada. Listen, go on vacation. Live your best life. Just because you don't have a lot of money doesn't mean that you shouldn't travel and get out there and see the world, right? When you don't got no money like Nicole, you maybe can go to another state in a bus, but you're getting on a plane, paying for rooms. Like, come on. No, this is not smart. Her family just has to be so much stronger with her. Ashley and Jay, can I just say I'm over them? I'm over them. I watched their whole little segment and I was just like, I'm done. Like, I'm just not interested anymore. But what I will say is that Ashley and her friends, they thought they were the bee's knees of New York City. And we got footage of them in this bar dancing on the table, acting like they these sexy girls. And this bar, full of like elderly people, is paying them dust. They are dancing on this bar, the top of this bar, and they, oh, yes. And the people in the bar are like they are paying them dust. And it's so sad because they're so oblivious to it. You know what it is? Maybe they're like the cool chicks in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, but y'all not no cool chicks in New York City. By far, darling. By far. And I know for sure that they raided the nearest Charlotte Russe before they had their night out on the town in New York City. Paola and Russ, I kind of feel like this was a scam storyline, because if Russ had a job opportunity that offered him a lot more money to really take care of him and his family in a financial way that wouldn't put a burden on him, why would he give up the argument so quickly? Like, he sits down and talks to Paola about it, and Paola's just like, well, I don't like it here, and you know I don't like it here. She looks down, rubs her belly, and he's just like, well, okay, I won't take the job. And I'm like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me as a husband, you have a great opportunity making more money to take care of you, your wife, and another life, and you got the support of your family. You mean to tell me that all she had to do was say, oh, I don't like it here, and that's it? Not when you've been beating around the bush and having several confessionals about this job offer. Now, all of a sudden, she just says no one time, and there's like no pushback or nothing. He gave up too easily for me. And because he gave up so quickly, I started to feel like this was just some fake storyline and not really Russ having an opportunity in Oklahoma. What do you guys think? Because it just happened so quick. She was just like, no, I don't want to live here. And he was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And I'm like, wait, if you really wanted to do something and your spouse, who you know was going to say no, but you know it's a great opportunity and you feel like you have to take this job, there wouldn't be any back and forth. There was like no back and forth. I was just like, Russ, Paola, this is fake. Pedro and Chantel. Listen, Chantel's mama, when she was talking to Chantel about Pedro going to the DR and staying there for however long, the mother had me all the way up until immigration. And I think this is a problem. I think she starts off so well, has really great intentions, and then out of nowhere, something snaps. It's like a Jekyll and Hyde. And she just goes so wrong so quickly and so deeply, because she was just like, oh no, that's not okay for your husband to leave and tell you that he's going to be in another country and he doesn't know how long because he needs a break from you. That ain't no marriage. That's not right. And I'm like, yep, that's not right. And she's just like, you know what you need to do? Since he wants to leave you and not tell you anything, change the bank account. Take the money out. Don't let him go down there and do all this spending. He's living la vida loca while you over here crying about your Mia Moore. I'm like, yes, mama, yes. And then she says, and call immigration. I was like, whoa, pump the brakes, ma'am. How do you go to immigration so quickly? Like, I understand if maybe he was beating up on your daughter or just like some criminal or something. Like, I feel like there has to be something so drastic where you feel like this marriage needs to end and this man no longer needs to be in the country. It can't be for every petty reason. Like that, she just really abuses the system against her son-in-law, who is somebody that her daughter loves. She goes so wrong so fast, and it is just awesome to watch, to be quite honest with you, because I was with her and then she just and I was like, wait, what happened? How did we get here? Good TV. And what did I tell y'all? I told y'all that Chantel was going to go down to the Dominican Republic. I told you guys there was no way that production was not going to get Chantel and this family in the same room together. They give great ratings. Like, why wouldn't you do that? And I know that messy family is going to follow her, specifically her mother, because Chantel kept on saying, I need somebody to go down there with me. And I was just like, yeah, that mother is not going to miss an opportunity to get in front of the camera and to act a fool. I'm telling you, I feel like this season we might have the clash of the mamas. That's what we need to have. I feel like this is what needs to happen with this family. Pedro and Chantel's mother just needs to get in the ring and fight it out. You know what I mean? Just fight it out, a bloody death match to the end. Afterwards, resuscitate both of them, bring them back to life, and tell them to call a truce. This is what needs to happen. Because they are just so messy. They're like the matriarchs of their families, and they are destroying what could be a beautiful union. Because I do think that Chantel and Pedro really love each other. I think their families make it so hard for their love to really exist. And it's sad. Speaking of sad, Pedro, how dare you? How dare you? And you knew this was all being filmed. So Pedro is in the DR having a blast, hanging out with his family and his friends. His sister takes him to some party. She says to his friends, oh, Pedro is single tonight. So then one of his friends, who I thought was going to be like the good guy, he's like, no, don't say that. Don't say those things about his wife, because Pedro's sister is like trashing Chantel. He's like, no, that's not okay. That's not okay. Then that same friend tells him to take off the ring and put it in a glass and drink because he's single tonight. And I said, well, what happened? That was a complete 180. You went from defending the wife to saying, oh, it's okay to cheat on her because you're going to be single for a day. Like, I just did not understand it. And then the sister and the friends are like pushing him to like essentially commit adultery, because we don't know what happened after the cameras left with this random woman. And they were like cheering it on. And I just could imagine Chantel watching this back. I would be so heartbroken. So heartbroken. Like, that was just Pedro. It wasn't right. It wasn't right. Normally I side with him because I feel bad that he's here by himself. You know what I mean? His only protector at this moment is his wife, So I feel bad for him, but this right here, inexcusable. It was really wrong. And his sister, he should have checked her, because that was not right. Regardless of how y'all feel about each other, you married Chantel. You went before the Lord and a witness or whoever and said that you will love and honor her all the days of your life. That's not loving and honoring her at all. That was so sad to watch. I felt bad. I was just like, this is not cool. This is not cool. Now let's get into the next episode. So Colt and Larissa. So Larissa has Colt on ice. Like, she's not giving him no coochie, because I think that she just does not enjoy having sex with him. And she mentions that he wants it all the time. But I feel like, especially if you're a newlywed and you haven't had a lot of time together, you're gonna be having a lot of sex. And I think that that's where Colt is. He wants to have a lot of sex, but I don't think that Larissa, can I just be honest? I don't think that she's attracted to him. And I think that she just wants to have enough sex with him to appease him, for him to, not catch on that she's tricking him, right? But Colt is like, you're my wife, let's do it. And I also think that the sex is uncomfortable for her because she's mentioned several times that he makes her feel like a blow-up doll. So it's probably just very like robotic and, you know, and gamer pornish. That's what I'm thinking. I feel like Colt is the type of dude that watches gamer porn and this is all he knows. So he's trying to do the same thing with a real life woman and it's just not working. Could you imagine that poor girl? I would just get another job, guys. I would just get another job. There is not enough money in this world to make me get into a relationship with a dude just for money. Not judging anybody who does it. I'm just saying that's for me in my house. I'll just work. I'll just get a job. I'll just take a second, third, fourth job. But what I won't do is be Colt's blow-up doll. No, sir, no, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. So Larissa decides to take Colt to a sex therapist because, like I said before, she doesn't enjoy having sex with him. And she literally said on national TV, her husband doesn't know how to have sex. The horror. The horror. Could you just imagine? Nope. Anyway, so she takes him to the sex therapist so that they could communicate better because I guess in her mind, she's just like, if I have to do this, I want to enjoy it, you know? And she's just not enjoying having sex with Colt. And Colt is just clueless. He's sitting there listening, but he's not really hearing it. And I just think it's because he just has not had a lot of interaction with women that aren't in a porn or are his mother. There are guys like that. There really are guys like that, especially in this day and age with the internet. Like the internet has taken place of so much human interaction that we're raising men and women who don't know how to communicate, who don't know how to interact with other people. And I think Colt is the result of that. Oh, poor Larissa. Ugh. The sex therapist was just like, you guys have to do more things that you both enjoy so that you can get into that place of wanting to have sex. It can't just be, hi, honey, I'm home, let's have sex. You guys have to, you know, get to know each other a bit more and find out what each other likes, right? So basically the sex therapist is just saying, you guys got to date each other, period. So Colt decides to take Larissa to a pumpkin patch. I wouldn't mind that. I think that's something fun to do with your partner, but I'm a Black Martha Stewart, so I like kind of crafty stuff like that. Larissa was not having it. First of all, she was not dressed for the pumpkin patch. She did not like it. She did not understand it. And Colt just would not back down. He wanted to be at this pumpkin patch, and that is their problem. The communication is just off. They're on two different playing fields, and it's just, they just will never meet in the middle, right? For pumpkins, Larissa is just like, oh, let's get this one. And then she points to this like weird misshapen pumpkin with all of these warts on it. And she's just like, let's get this one because it looks just like you. Larissa. Now, I don't like how Colt treats you, but you did not have to say that to him. He was so hurt. He was like, baby, you really think I look like that? And she was like, yes. She is a mess, but good TV. Good TV. Miss Debbie has to let go. She really, really does because I don't know why she's still living with Colt and Larissa. Your son and his new wife need to live on their own, especially in the first year because Larissa now lives here, right? So Colt wants to make her feel at home. So he says, this is an American tradition. We celebrate Halloween. Why don't you decorate the house for Halloween? Miss Debbie then comes down as Larissa is putting things together and her and Colt are having this time together. They are dating each other in this moment. They're spending this time. They're getting to know each other as they're decorating this home for Halloween. Miss Debbie comes down and she offers some of her decorations for Halloween, right? I didn't think anything was wrong with that. Her and Larissa were, you know, having a good time with it. But because Larissa just said that she didn't want the, whatever that machine is, that slot machine in there anymore, Miss Debbie gets upset. I get it. This has been your home for a very long time. That's something that you want in there. You gotta compromise. You know what I mean? She starts going off. You move this, you move my juicer. Larissa was like, it was just sitting out catching dust. I just put it up. You guys have to come to a happy medium. Like you have to be able to exist in this place. And I feel like for Larissa, she does not feel welcomed here. So let her have a few liberties. I know you like the slot machine in the living room, but your son is trying to save his marriage. Just give a little bit of that. If not, ma'am, move into a senior citizens apartment complex. They have one right down the street from where I live. It's really nice. Them senior citizens are living their best life. There's nothing wrong with a senior citizen or what is it, 55 plus apartment building situation. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not an old folks home. It's just a place that really caters to people your age, because when you get older, everything annoys you. You don't like change. You don't like to hold your tongue. It's a young person's nightmare. Like I'm telling you, it is a nightmare to live with somebody who is getting older, because their sensors are dying down. You know what I mean? And then they feel like, I'm at this age, I'm not holding my tongue anymore. I'm not doing what I want to do anymore. It's kind of like a toddler. They're regressing to being a toddler. So it's just like, as somebody who is not at that stage, it's very frustrating because you're trying to communicate with this person who's not budging. And I think that's what's happening with Miss Debbie. She has budged a bit, right? But you have to realize they are trying to make this place their marital home. You probably don't need to be there. Can we just be real? You're making it's too hard for them to really move on in this relationship. Because like Larissa said, it's like Colt has two wives. And you don't want to be no second wife. You want to be the one and the only, okay? So it's just a clash for Colt's attention, and he loves it because he gets Larissa, the blow-up doll, and his mother to cater to him. So he doesn't want to change that situation, but it's not a good situation for the both of them, because the both of them are fighting for the territory in this home. And I feel like the one who should have the territory in this home is the wife. Not saying I don't respect the mom, but they're trying to create a home together. So maybe she shouldn't be in this situation. And she's talked about it before. She just doesn't want to do it because her and her son has a very close relationship, which is beautiful, but it has gotten to the point where it's become a bit toxic because they're very codependent of each other, and that's not healthy. Oh, Nicole and Azan. So Nicole opens up talking about how her daughter needs to be enrolled in school soon, but she's focusing on going to Grenada to meet up with Azan. Ma'am, like she doesn't even know if she's going to put her in school or not, because they're still trying to move to be with Azan. Like, you don't know these things yet. But you're going on vacation. Seeing him is not really important right now. Listen, when you have a child, that becomes your life. That's your mission in life, okay? Yes, you need to take some time off for you, but this kid is a freaking toddler. She needs you. Not making the best decisions. And the only thing that her family does is sit there, watch her, sigh a little bit, and make eye contact with each other. I'm like, you guys got to intervene. You guys have got to intervene. She is making very poor choices with a child. This is like 911 at this point. I feel like maybe she's making these poor decisions and her family is okay with it because they get the benefits of her folly. Because her father is packing up and going to Grenada. I know his thing is, I know this guy ain't for my daughter, but I've never been to Grenada. You know what I mean? I know that this situation is horrible, but hey, we're on a TV show. I feel like sometimes with these families of the people, of the leads for 90 Day Fiance, I think a lot of these families know that their family member is making a dumb decision, but it's a TV show and it's just like, you know, this is stupid, but I'm on TV. I'm getting a little check. Like, this is good for the whole family. I think the family is in on it for business. I think Nicole isn't. I think she really is here for Azan, but I think her family is just like, listen, if you want to make a dumb decision, we might as well get paid for it. And you know what? I wouldn't do it, but I can understand it because Nicole would do it with or without TLC. At least get a check. You know what I mean? At least get some residuals. At least build a fan base where you can hawk a product to. Like, you got to see the forest for the trees. Am I using that correctly? Okay, so Azan calls Nicole. She leaves for Grenada the next day. Her and her father are packed and ready to go. He calls her, and as soon as he calls her, you hear, "Oh no, don't do this to me." And I was like, oh man. Oh girl, this is so sad. He says that there's some kind of family emergency, so he can't make it, so they cancel the trip or whatever the day before. So as he gets off the phone with Nicole, the producers is just like, what's happening? Because they didn't know. Because normally when they know that somebody is calling, they mic up the phone so you can hear it properly. But we were able to only hear Nicole's side of it. So she takes off running into the woods. They don't know what's going on. The producers are trying to find her. Nicole's mother, who is rightfully frustrated, is just like, give me a second. Let me find my child. So she got a flashlight. She's in the woods trying to find Nicole. Nicole finally comes back. She doesn't want to talk just yet. She goes inside, closes the trailer door, and then there's a moment of silence. Like, I guess it's the family trying to figure out what to actually say. So she finally comes out and she talks to the producers, and she's just like, oh, he can't make it. So it's okay. I know he wouldn't do this to harm me. I know there was a family emergency, still oblivious. And our mother is just like, he's scamming her. I know he's taking advantage of my child. But Nicole is basically stubborn. This is a sad situation. This is a really, really sad situation, because I think that what is missing is that there is probably something not quite right with Nicole. And because she's protected and the family doesn't want to talk about it. But I think she is somebody who will always be a target for scammers, because they see somebody who is an adult with very childlike sensibility. And it's just, it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate because, you know, this is somebody's mother, and she is just out here making some dumb decisions. Oh, like she couldn't see this. She couldn't see that this was a scam. She's still so in love with this dude. What is that? Like, why does she feel the need to find or chase after unavailable men? Because it seems like her dad was in her life. So what is that? Does she not feel beautiful? Like, is it a low self-esteem? Is it the fact that she, you know, got a thing for brown men? Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes when people have a fetish, they will take the worst of that fetish just because it's something that they desire. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below if you think you know what's going on with Nicole, because watching her, like, I'm annoyed with Ashley and Jay, so I don't care. But watching Nicole is just sad at this point. It's just really, really sad. It's like you're just watching not only a train wreck, but a heartbreaking train wreck. I just want a train wreck. Take the emotions out of it. Speaking of Ashley and Jay, so that 17-year-old girl that Jay was trying to cheat with never called Ashley back. You look like a dummy. You look like a whole dummy. You and your old girlfriends got on your phone and called this chick and tried to step to her. And that child had enough sense to not call back the crazy wife. She probably still listens to that voicemail with her girlfriends and just drag you. Guys, gather around. Y'all want to listen to that voicemail from that dinosaur again? Never. Ain't no 17-year-old chick ever gonna catch me slipping. Nah. No, I'm not calling you. I may shoot up the house. Let me stop. I may shoot up your school bus, but I'm not calling. Never. Oh my goodness. If a dude, no, you know what? If a dude cheated on me with a 17-year-old girl, I would call the cops. SVU, listen. This is a grown man dating a child. What's going on here? Also, Ashley and Jay have decided to work it out. Ashley wants to give Jay another chance, not because she's in love with him, but because she has a couple more episodes to film. I'm so sick of this scamming couple. Elizabeth and Andre. Elizabeth now is starting to feel like maybe Andre scammed her. Sis, of course he did. He told you whatever you wanted to hear in Dublin. Now he got you in the States with a gut full of his seed. Scam one. He did it. He did what he came to do. He scammed you and your rich daddy. You know what? Your daddy probably was the target. Okay? Because doesn't her father own a couple properties? He was probably the target. It was never you. Wow. And we talked about this before, but it just burns me up how Elizabeth manipulates the men in her life, because she's sitting here telling her father all of her business, how terrible Andre is. And then after all of this lamenting, she asked him to give Andre a job. That's the only reason why she talked to him, because she wanted him to give Andre a job. So this whole lamenting about everything that she's going through with Andre, that was only to pull on his heartstrings so he couldn't say no. Oh, girl. Oh, girl, Andre is a mess, but you're not innocent either. Elizabeth, who is good and pregnant, comes home from working a full day, feet hurt, she waddling in the kitchen. She's talking to Andre. She wants to figure out what he's done all day. You know what he did all day? He created an ad. You got a whole Moldova bum. Girl, you could have found that in America, okay? You got a whole bum. A whole bum. He sat there and was just like, oh, I created an ad. And she's like, oh, all day? Because she was probably working an 8-hour shift. 8 hours. He just created an ad. And then she's just like, well, you have to help more because I'm pregnant and pretty soon I won't be able to work like this. And here he goes, don't terrorize me with your pregnancy. What? Elizabeth, I don't know how you're going to get out of this. You got this child. Girl, this, I wouldn't want this even for my enemy. No, I wouldn't. Pedro and Chantel. Okay, so I don't know how I missed this, but I didn't know that Pedro's mom had set up some like Facebook page or website where she basically is like a Dominican mail order bride situation. I didn't know that. And that was one of the reasons why Chantel's mom has some kind of issue with her. I would kind of feel some sort of way too, because then you start to think, is Pedro scamming? The mother has a website where she's trying to get Dominican people citizenship from being married to Americans, and her son marries your daughter. You're going to think something. Still not saying that the mother has gone about the situation the right way, but I kind of understand a bit more now what her issues are. This would give me pause as well. So Chantel got a little messy friend in the Dominican Republic because she called her friend Obed and she wants to know what's the tea with her man. Yes, sis. Yes, I applaud you. This is how you do it. She said, Obed, what's going on with Pedro? And Obed gave her all the tea. Yeah, never sleep on black women. Never sleep on women, period. We will become the FBI concerning our man. It's not a game. It is not a game. Chantel and her girlfriends, they put on their best freakum dresses and they strut all the way to the town lounge that's located in the middle of a shopping center. Woo child, the ghetto. What? When I saw their dresses, I was like, yes, girl, let them know what he's missing. Then they walked into this shopping center lounge and I was like, oh, there ain't no club where you live. Like, what is this? So Pedro's living his best life, talking to his mom and his sister, and they're laughing about what happened with him and that Jezebel that he was grinding on. And I'm like, wow, you're real nonchalant about this. Like, you don't care that your wife is going to see this and be humiliated? Pedro, you're not looking good, bro. But while he's living his best life and celebrating the fact that he almost cheated, or probably did. No, I don't know. I don't get that from Pedro. But what he did wasn't right. But anyway, while they're having a good kiki about the situation, Chantel calls and changes the whole mood. She was just like, where are you? What are you doing? I'll be down there, period. I'm coming to see my man. I don't care. He tries to talk her out of it. She's like, nope, I'll see you soon. Bam. Yes. Yes, Chantel. This is how you do it. Baby Pedro was shook. I felt like he was near tears. He got off the phone with her, put his head down. Then he walked in and he told his mom and the sister. And his mom was like, where's she staying? Not here. This is what I will say. I didn't like how Pedro and his sister were acting towards Chantel, or like just, speaking about her when they were hanging out with their friends and what Pedro did with that other woman, right? I loved that finally I was able to witness Pedro standing up to Chantel. He was just like, what you mean she can't come here? This is my wife. So she can't stay here? And then the mom and the sister were trying to talk bad about her. And he was like, no, stop it. Like, I don't want to hear it anymore. That is my wife and I love her. And I'm like, Pedro, where has this been? Like, that's the thing. Pedro needs to have this stance with his family and Chantel needs to have this stance with her family. If they can do that, because this is the thing, you have to make your family respect your partner. That is your family. They are only reacting based off of you. If you don't make them respect your partner, they never will. They never will. And your relationship will not survive. So I was finally happy to see Pedro stand up for his wife because I haven't seen it for a long time and it needed to happen. He needed to stand up to the two people that could ruin his relationship. He needed to do that, and I was glad that he did it. Even though, he got a little frustrated and went in and slammed his door. But still, you did what needed to be done. He loves his family, and he loves Chantel. I believe that, right? But it's unfortunate that they cannot get along. But I think if he continues to take this stance, they will do the work necessary for their relationship to grow. Same thing with Chantel. If she says, I don't want to hear it no more. She was on the phone with her mama and her mama brought up immigration. She should have checked her right there. Her mother would have never done something like that again if she would have checked that behavior. That's the problem. They don't check the problematic behavior of their family members. They just let them run amok in their relationship. And I can't blame it on their age because I'm just like, you guys are old enough to know that this isn't good, that what they are doing is not okay. And I understand his mother say, oh no, I don't want this woman staying here, even if it's your wife, because the last thing she heard was that her mother, Chantel's mama, pulled her daughter's weave out. She's just like, and there was no apology. And until I get an apology, she can't stay here. I get it. I was still glad that Pedro stood up for his mother, and I think that Chantel needs to make that right. Because at the end of the day, your mother pulled out your sister-in-law's weave. Something has got to be said about that. They all need to apologize, to be quite honest with you. I feel like they all need to apologize and just play a huge game of Uno and have like a game night and just have fun with each other, because they don't have fun with each other. All they do is fight. I think they need to apologize, move forward. They really got to leave the past in the past, learn from it, move forward as a family, and do fun things together. Laugh with each other, learn each other a bit better. Don't serve them chicken feet when they come over. Don't threaten to call immigration when they do something that you don't like. Like, they have to put in the work. If they put in the work, this family could be saved. If they don't, they'll remain on this TV show. They'll get money. TLC will get great ratings, and I'll be here to review it. Anyway, that was it for me with this episode. What did you think of the 2 episodes that I reviewed in this review? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you soon for the following episode of 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After. See you in Vegas. Bye.